this is the first time. 2016 year review. I gotta be honest, after just hearing Last in Line playing on me, and I was just, I wasn't really too keen on who this band was. Last in Line is members made up of Black Sabbath and Def Leppard. Vivian Campbell is also a member of Def Leppard. And you got legendary drummer Vinny Appice, who was, if you look at Vinny Appice's musical work, he has worked with Rick Dermott, Actus, Black Sabbath, Dio, Hearing Aid, Flesh and Blood, World War III, Heaven and Hell, Single Tyrants, Kill Devil Hill, Big Boys, Whammy, Hollywood Monsters, Tullshire, Joel Hoaxers, 13 Stonehand, and he also worked with John Lennon. And you guys don't know if we're living on to a rock in this 2016 year review. Vinny Appice, his brother, and the younger brother of drummer Carmine Appice. Those two guys I mentioned are like legendary drummers. Well, Vinny Appice, if you look at his work, is like legendary, like bands that he's worked with. But the Last in Line, you're probably asking, oh gee, you don't know much about this band? I've heard, true story, I've heard a little bit of this group. I'm not saying with no disrespect. I just started hearing about this band because the band was eventually made up of Vivian Campbell of Def Leppard and legendary drummer Vinny Appice. But 2016 years, you saw the passing of former guitarist Jimmy Bain. I'm not too keen on Jimmy Bain. I know, he's done work with Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy from Villanelle. He also worked with, he was a guitarist for Rainbow and Dio at the time. But Jimmy Bain, he's somebody the old cliche, I'm learning something new about these guitars that I'm not too keen on. There's certain guitars from bands who I'm familiar with because I had interaction with them. Jimmy Bain, he's somebody totally that kind of flew under the radar. But if you look at Jimmy Bain's, music career, it's been from 1974 up to this year. He has worked with Wild Horses at the time. He joined Rainbow after Richard Blackmore had watched him performing at the Marquee in London. He recorded the studio of Horizon and played on the Volleyball tour. So Jimmy Bain's career really was off the races he went because he joined the band Rainbow. He also toured Europe with John Cale, so he really just, it was one thing after another as a guitarist, because you're in with Rainbow, but you're also touring with other musicians too in other bands. And he formed Jimmy Bain formed a band called All Horse, including ex-Thin Lizzy guitarist Brian Robertson, drummer Clay Evers, Pat Travers, Lil Jon Roos, Electric Sun, guitarist Neil Kerr. So Jimmy Bain really just kept knocking it out of the park. Guitarist Steel Carbon Bonds, a UFO, Gary Moore, Wild Horse, who was 12 in Europe, Wild Horse 1980, and Standing Ground 1981. Brian Roberts also joined Motorhead following year, while Everett joined Whitesnake, guitarist for SOS. So Wild Horses really just kept rolling with the punches, but Jimmy also linked up again external character Ryan and Steel for the band Deal, a central figure with Deal. Bain called one of the Dark Holy Diver to the initial songs appear when he released for Cell Holy Guard. Bain wrote several songs following out his last in the line of Sacred Heart, Aaron Mission, Dreaming Evil, and Killing the Dragon. Bain also joined forces with Black Sabbath and Deal Germany Beast for two projects, Hollywood All-Stars and Three-Legged Dog. While the Hollywood All-Stars from Live Concert and Grace accepted initial members, Carlos Cabeza Cleanrod was not a normal member of that Three-Legged Dog, produced a well-received album original material. Bain made the piece's ultimate choice to leave both groups so he can return to write his deal in the Black Sabbath offshoot, Heaven and Hell. Heaven and Hell was another big name group back when Jimmy Bain was still doing his thing. But his passing, I mean, with all due respect to Jimmy Bain's legacy, his death, his passing really kind of flew under the radar. But he did pass away while his cabin on Def Leppard's Hysteria on High Seas Cruise. He was doing it on the cruise with Blue Blast and Line the following day. He was battling pneumonia. Caused death with lung cancer. The band had not been diagnosed with cancer for But like I said, the band Last Line, very familiar. I'm not like too familiar with it because this is like the only first time I first heard it, because I heard so much of the band, because I think when you look at band Last Line, I know that Canadian Town was also doing his time with Def Leppard and Last Line on the side, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not too very familiar with Last Line. I thought, okay, there's some kind of side project that basically turned into full band with one album.